Now, I want to quickly focus in on the RFK campaign. It's been largely losing steam as I think people are finally realizing that he's the most batshit crazy candidate in the race. From his vaccine misinformation to being a staunch Zionist, it's not really looking good for him, and he's not like rallying the troops in the same way he was maybe when he first announced. And now his VP, Nicole Shanahan, has done an interview where it was clearly on display how over her head she is in this position. Take a listen.
What in your background prepares you to be commander-in-chief?
I think that I have a very sophisticated view on foreign affairs due to my previous work, both in intellectual property law. I understand how global commerce works. I understand how we build batteries around the world. I understand the importance of semiconductors. I understand that big foreign policy decisions are made specifically around semiconductors. And I also am multicultural. My background is one in which I've spent most of my spiritual life studying world religions. And I think it's really important right now for us to understand and respect each other's religious alignment.
She is seriously trying to make the case that she knows how to build batteries and studies world religions so she could be commander-in-chief just fine. I think that this word salad of an answer shows just how unqualified she is and in over her head. This is truly her Sarah Palin moment. What about building batteries will help you decide what funding to send to global allies, to have your finger on the nuke button, to control weapons and arms deals, to bring funding back to America, the catastrophe in Ukraine, the genocide in Gaza. Oh, yeah, guys, wait, hold on. She understands religion, so she'll be just fine. Kennedy clearly picked this woman for her pockets, and it just shows how unserious his campaign and bid for presidency really is.
There are also plenty of vaccines that are mandated right now. Are there any vaccines that you think should be mandated for children?
I believe in medical freedom. I believe that with full, true, informed consent, a parent will make the best decision for their child. Given this, mandates don't make sense. When you put full faith in a free market for vaccines, and you do this as well with food, if you allow people to understand and fully understand what they're putting into their children, they will oftentimes make the right decision for their children. So the idea that the average American can't come to that decision independent of a mandate really makes me wonder what's going on.
Now, Trump is also spewing this anti-vaccine mandate nonsense, and I have to say, this is a measles outbreak just waiting to happen. I mean, measles infection rates decreased almost 50% after mandates were introduced. Hepatitis vaccine programs reduced the prevalence of that virus. Even colleges that mandated COVID vaccines saw drops in the rate of COVID. The science is pretty clear, and especially in today's polarized world where politicians are constantly questioning the credibility of science with no experience or knowledge in the field themselves, and their cult members are just willing to follow them into that intuition, through the foxholes. Mandates are more necessary than ever to protect the innocent people who aren't buying into that nonsense.
Aligned with the DNC that are undermining democracy, in my opinion, to try to keep us off the ballot. I've never met a party that hates democracy more than the current leadership within the Democratic Party. But regardless, we love democracy and we're fighting tooth and nail for it.
I don't know, maybe the party led by the guy who tried to incite an insurrection after he lost a free and fair election, the guy who pressured state officials to find him votes that weren't there, who tried to instill fraudulent electors or have his vice president overturn the results. Now, to be clear, there's absolutely no evidence to anything she's saying here, no evidence that anyone in the Democratic Party is doing anything to hinder them. They're just losing momentum. Ballot access is always hard for third parties to achieve, even when they stay with their party from the jump, instead of, the candidate not really knowing where he falls and starting in the Democratic Party and then hinting he might go libertarian, but then deciding to run independently and just keep switching it up. This just gives the game away that they're clearly here to play spoiler for Biden and Democrats, and that nobody should take their bid seriously. If you enjoyed this video, we're Social Society. We're a commentary channel influenced by politics, society, and the economy. We are pretty left-leaning on this channel, but we're open to our right-wingers as well. The biggest thing here is having conversations that get everyone to the bottom of the truth. If that sounds like something that could interest you, consider smashing that subscribe button, leaving us a like, or even commenting on this video. We even have memberships available as low as $3 if you'd like to support, because the only way we become a society is together.